Have you ever lived with someone and slowly, day by day, realized they were living a completely different life on the inside than they presented to the world? It's a strange, almost voyeuristic experience, watching someone meticulously construct a facade, only to see it crumble in tiny, heartbreaking ways. If you've ever felt that, or if you just love delving into the hidden corners of human emotion, then you're in the right place. Before we dive deeper into this story of quiet desperation, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below with your own thoughts on hidden struggles. It truly helps us bring more compelling Reddit stories to life. My roommate is a 33-year-old guy. Let's call him Mark. On the surface, Mark is the picture of success and self-sufficiency. He's got a good job, works hard, keeps to himself. He exudes this aura of independence, almost a defiant declaration of "I don't need anyone." When you first meet him, you'd probably think he has got it all figured out, a man content in his own skin, perfectly happy with his solitude. But living with him, day in and day out, you start to see the cracks in that perfectly constructed image. You pick up on the subtle tells, the quiet habits that scream something entirely different than the confident front he projects. Take his relationship with our cat, for example. I swear, he talks to that cat more than he talks to any human being. Not in a silly, baby talk kind of way, but with genuine conversation. He'll explain his day to her, ask her questions, lament about work, all in a low, even tone. It's not just a cute quirk, it's a window into a profound loneliness. It's like the cat is his only truly safe confidant, the one creature in his life he doesn't have to pretend for, the one who will listen without judgment or expectation. When he's talking to the cat, the impenetrable wall he usually has up just melts away for a moment. Then there's the way he eats. Almost always standing up, right there at the kitchen counter. It's not a quick snack, either. It'll be a full meal, a plate of pasta, a takeout box, and he'll just stand there, hunched slightly, eating with a hurried efficiency. It's like he's perpetually in a rush, even when there's nowhere to be, no one waiting for him, no one he needs to hurry back to. It's the habit of someone who has spent a long time eating alone, someone who doesn't feel worthy of taking up space at a table, someone who's used to his meals being a solitary, functional act rather than a moment of rest or connection. Every time I see him, fork in hand, poised over his plate like a sprinter at the starting line, my heart just aches a little. And the headphones. Oh, the headphones. He always has them on. Not always blasting music, not always listening to a podcast or an audiobook. Sometimes, I'm convinced, they're barely playing anything at all. Just enough to fill the silence. That deafening, echoing silence of an apartment where only one person's thoughts reside. It's a defense mechanism, a self-imposed barrier against the quiet, against his own internal monologue, against the stark reality of how little external sound there is in his life. He's not trying to block out the world, he's trying to fill an emptiness. He's trying to drown out the sound of his own solitude. But the most crushing revelation, the one that really solidified everything I'd been observing, came a couple of weeks ago. It was his birthday. I knew it was coming up because I saw it on the apartment calendar. I hoped, truly hoped, that his family or friends would make a fuss, that he'd have plans, that this day, of all days, he'd feel seen. But the day passed, indistinguishable from any other. No calls. No texts. Not even from his family. He tried, really tried, to act like it didn't bother him. He ordered takeout, his usual comfort meal, and said, with a forced cheerfulness that felt like a punch to the gut, "It's just another day." He ate his meal standing up, headphones on, of course. I pretended to believe him, pretended not to notice the subtle slump in his shoulders, the way his eyes seemed a little too vacant. But later that night, hours after I'd gone to bed, I heard it. A quiet, broken sound coming from the kitchen. It was unmistakable. He was crying. Softly, trying to muffle it, but the sound carried through the thin walls. It was the sound of a grown man, utterly alone, letting the raw, unvarnished pain of his isolation wash over him, on the one day he probably most hoped he wouldn't have to feel it. That night, sleep didn't come easy for me. He tries so incredibly hard to act like he doesn't want connection, like he's perfectly content in his solitary bubble. But every now and then, something slips through. Just a tiny crack, a fleeting moment where the carefully constructed wall falters. Like when I'm cooking dinner. The smells of garlic and onions, of simmering sauce, will waft through the apartment. He'll come out of his room, not directly into the kitchen, but he'll stand in the doorway, just outside the frame, like a ghost. He'll say, "Smells good," his voice a little softer than usual. He never asks if he can join. He just stands there, watching. The words "Can I have some?" or "What are you making?" hanging unspoken in the air, too heavy for him to utter. He looks like he's afraid to ask, afraid of the rejection, afraid of imposing. And it kills me, because I always want him to join. Last night, though, was different. It was a small thing, but it felt monumental. I was just settling in for the evening, flipping through streaming options, when he walked by. He paused, hesitated, and then, super casually, almost dismissively, he mumbled, "Hey, you wanna watch a movie? If not, it's cool, totally." He said it so quickly, so offhandedly, as if he was already bracing himself for the rejection. As if he was preparing to say, "Yeah, I didn't really want to anyway." I said yes, obviously. How could I not? And the look on his face. It was a mix of genuine surprise and a fleeting flash of something almost like relief, quickly masked by his usual stoicism. He actually looked surprised. Like he genuinely expected I'd say no. Like the idea that someone would actually want to spend time with him, even just watching a movie, was a foreign concept. We sat there, side by side, mostly in silence, occasionally making a comment about the film. It was just a movie, but to me, it felt like we were crossing a vast, invisible chasm. This is the part that keeps me up at night. I don't know how to help someone who's built their entire personality around pretending they don't need help. How do you offer comfort to someone whose deepest fear seems to be vulnerability? How do you break through years of practiced independence, of self-imposed isolation, without making them feel exposed or, even worse, pitied? It's a delicate dance, a constant negotiation between wanting to reach out and respecting the walls he's so painstakingly erected. He's a good person, truly. Beneath all the layers of guardedness and practiced indifference, there's a kindness, a quiet decency that only surfaces in these rare, unguarded moments. I wish he saw himself the way the few people who actually know him do. I wish he knew that it's okay to need people, that connection isn't a weakness, but a fundamental human necessity. I wish he knew that he doesn't have to carry the weight of his loneliness alone. Maybe, just maybe, with enough small, consistent gestures, that knowledge will eventually sink in. For now, I'll keep leaving the kitchen light on, and I'll keep saying yes. This story, like so many others, reminds us that what we see on the surface is rarely the full picture. Everyone carries their own unseen burdens, their own quiet battles. Have you ever encountered someone like Mark, and how did you navigate that delicate space? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that explore the complexities of human connection. Thank you for listening.